And that's me, and that's going to be Dan. And I don't- Okay. Okay, sounds good. All right, let's go ahead and, are you ready to get started? All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and try to get started on time this morning. For those who've not been in here before, my name is Sarah Giglio. I am an attorney here in town. I've been appointed by the mayor and confirmed by city council to serve in this position as hearing officer for environmental court here in Shreveport. The first thing I will do is just remind you, if you will turn your phones on silent. I don't mind if you need to take a phone call or talk to someone, just if you could step out in the hallway to do that. It can be a little difficult to hear if there's a lot of conversation out in the gallery. The next thing I will say is that we have a lengthy docket as always. I will do my best to get all of you out here as timely as possible while giving each matter the attention that it deserves. I know we've also got a couple of attorneys for a few cases on our docket this morning. I will get y'all out first so that y'all can move on to other things. All right, so we're going to start by calling number 28 on our docket, 2405272 PSD regarding 2604 Cresswell Avenue.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Let me just get Inspector Hayes up here as well. We'll swear both parties in, and then we'll get an update.
Okay.
And while Ms. Hayes is coming up there, I will go ahead and put on the record. I do know Mr. Little through the legal community. We have served together on, I think, one disciplinary committee hearing. So I'm just putting that out there for property standards to know. I don't believe I need to recuse myself, but if y'all want me to, you can tell me now.
Come in.
Okay, all right. Ms. Rhonda, can you swear them in?
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me have Inspector Hayes go first, and then Mr. Little, I'll hear from you.
Okay, this property has, I'm Inspector Lisa Hayes and I didn't bring my folder. Let me see this. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm Inspector Hayes for case number 2405272 2604 Cresswell. This property had burned, maybe some months, I say ago, but I've been in contact with the owner. They did contact, and they have begun to work on the structure. They are making progress on it. They have started to rehab and reframe the house, which is good. And I don't mind if you allow them some more time to finish their project out. I have no problem with that, but they are starting to make progress on it.
Great. Mr. Little, do you have any other updates that you'd like to add?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't realize y'all had pictures, and I had brought pictures.
Okay.
Yes, we've taken care of a lot of the structural issues.
Great.
We are currently waiting for a permit. The permit is waiting on the MPC. The MPC is waiting on the historic group, which next week, I understand, though, we're going back exactly with the same siding that was originally built, so I don't anticipate a problem with that. I do anticipate that if we get approval next week, we could possibly have the siding up in the next month.
Okay.
And then possibly painted thereafter. I would like a little bit of time on the front door. The contractors tell me that when we do the sheetrock and the electrical, if we could wait, do the door last. But I think we could address every one of their issues.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like good progress. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She'd asked how much.
time?
A couple of months. It just really depends on when you get contractors out there, especially painters. It's going to be the difficult thing, so.
Given the fact that so much progress is happening, I'm inclined to set it in June to give us 3 months. So the June 12th day would be the next day to come back here. Obviously, if Inspector Hayes tells you it's abated between now and then, you don't have to come back. If we're still having issues, just come back and let us know where we're at on it. Okay?
Thank
So
you,
June 12th.
So that's June, the next June date for this body?
Is June 12th, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And you should get a notice as well in the mail, but I always give it in court.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Mr. Little. All right, the next matter we'll call up is number 8 on our docket, 2409421 PSD regarding 5555 Financial Plaza. I believe we've got somebody here on that.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Curtis Shelton.
Yes, sir.
I represent Byline Bank, which holds the mortgage on this property.
Okay. All right, let me just get everybody sworn in and we'll get an update.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, let me get an update from property standards first.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Inspector Rosemary White, inspector on record for 5555 Financial Plaza, case number 2409421 PSD. This property has been dilapidated and it has even burned in some areas over the years. Right now, we are seeking to get a judgment on this property to be demolished because we boarded up the property and it's constantly being broken into. We've cleaned it up a couple of times. We did a care premise on it a couple of times.
Okay.
And have done that, but it's still being vandalized. They're still breaking in, bringing things out of the building. And right now, you can see it from I-20, driving by, it's an eyesore.
Right.
Also, we have a big pool, swimming pool in the back that needs to be cleaned out, filled in or something, because that's a hazard and a danger. Even with the vandalizers, they could fall in it and drown or something like that.
Right.
So we are seeking for this property to be demolished.
Okay. All right, Mr. Shelton.
Yes, Your Honor, the property is presently in the status of a foreclosure. There's a foreclosure sale. It was set for January, but we rescheduled it, so it's now, I believe, set in either April or early May. The bank holds a mortgage on it. There are several other lien holders that, and people that hold mortgages on the property as well. I don't know if any of them have been given notice of these actions or proceedings. But putting that to the side, the bank's under is that there is a person who has a contract with the property from the owner. That person is represented by Melissa Flores at Blanchard, Walker, O'Quinn, and Roberts.
Right.
They're in the process of, the reason the bank postponed the first sale is they wanted to allow time for that transaction to close. It hasn't closed yet, but we understand that the transaction is still ongoing and pending. I don't know, I can't tell you for
Right.
certain that it'll close, but if it doesn't, that's why we have the sheriff's sale rescheduled. What the bank would like to do is, get through the sheriff's sale, which, may be completed at the first time the property's offered, but if there's no bidder, it may go to a second sale. And then after that, the bank will be able to, if it acquires the property, market the property, to, maybe even rehab the property in conjunction with that. Or the purchaser at the sheriff's sale would then be able to answer to the conditions at the property. When I look at we can see the condition of the property. It is in very poor condition. It hasn't been kept up. And there are people who, break into the property. There are people who put graffiti on the property and things of that nature. But the physical structure of the property itself, as far as, is intact. It's not fallen over. It doesn't have issues like that. So it would be, I think, quite an expenditure of funds to demolish this hotel and just leave the lot there. And what I'd like to see is, some more time with the foreclosure, get the foreclosure done if the property doesn't sell by then, and see if the structure itself can be saved. Cosmetically, it's in very bad shape. And, people come into it because it's not presently occupied. Of course, I guess you would say the owner, in this case, even the bank is, somewhat a victim of that, as well as the city, as far as the appearance of the property. So I would ask that, this matter be continued to the next, to the June date to see what happens
no.
in the meantime, or whatever date that you have.
I'll tell you concern.
Sure.
It appears that there's a lot of coming and going from this structure that is, I don't know if it's vagrants, I'm not sure who's going over there and busting out windows, but property standards is telling me windows have been boarded up, they keep getting knocked out. And my main concern, A, is the pool, that is a hazard, and B, is when this thing catches on fire, that is such a large structure that I worry that our first responders are going to get hurt. It's not a small, it would not be a small house fire. Tell me, there's no way that I'm giving until June. Tell me what y'all have done since since the inspection that started all of this in September of last year.
Oh, well, the bank, the bank has only worked through the foreclosure sale. The
Okay.
bank doesn't own the property and,
Right.
really can't make physical improvements to it. I guess we could become appointed keeper and maybe address the pool issue in particular. And if that's something that the environmental court would, tell us needs to happen, then I think I could get the bank to, cause that to happen so that, that's safe-ened. There's a fence around the property, but apparently that
That's not
doesn't
working,
stop
right.
people
Right.
from coming through.
If they're going to bust a window out, I don't think hopping a fence is going to be a problem.
I mean, unless we put a turret gunner on top of it, we might not keep people away.
Do you have any information from Ms. Flores on when this closing is supposed to occur?
The last I heard, they were waiting for a deposit by the purchaser.
Okay.
I don't know that she's received that.
When was that?
That's probably just been within the matter of the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
So I haven't visited with her within the last couple of weeks. I know the banker that I represent, made an inquiry just a couple of days ago, and I don't know if she's heard a response back yet or
Okay.
not.
It's always difficult when you have whoever owned it before leave it in a state like this, and I don't want to leave, the bank in a bad situation, but I also don't want to leave a dangerous condition.
I know they've got a broker who actually, actively worked on the sale and is working on trying to bring the transaction to a close.
Okay.
But that's as much as I know about it.
All right. I'll reset this for 30 days out, April 15th. I know that's a quick turnaround. Go ahead. Sorry, Property Standards wants to say something. Go ahead. If you'll let her come up to the mic so she can
I'm
say.
sorry.
We have to share a microphone in this room.
No problem.
One thing I would like to clarify, that there is no fence around the property.
There's not.
No, there's no fence around the property. As well as, we would like fines attached to this because this has been going on for, over a year. As well as we need, security around the property to possibly, ward off the vandalism and kind of get that under control. Because the city is spending a lot of money to try to keep this property up. And we've secured it before, but they keep breaking in it.
Okay.
And we've cleaned it up twice, at least, and as well as cut the property and everything. So the city is spending quite a bit of money trying to keep this property. And
Inspector, you mentioned that it's been going on for over a year. I have that the inspection occurred in September of last year. Is that not correct?
it's been, yeah, we had an inspection last year, but we've, one minute. We- It's been reinitialized.
Okay, I'm looking at the further history. Apparently, I did not have all the history of this in front of me. Hold on. Okay. All right. Mr. Shelton, when did the bank take this back over? This property, rather?
I'm sorry.
Do you know?
I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. Do you know when the bank took this property back over?
Well, the bank hasn't taken it back over. The bank filed a foreclosure
Okay.
proceeding. And that proceeding, I think, was filed after September, certainly.
Okay.
But because the first day that the sheriff's sale was scheduled originally was for January 8th, and that's the sale that we passed because there's a contract pending on the property.
Oh, okay. I'm looking up the history of this because this apparently has been going on a lot longer than. None of that's been.
The notices that I saw, there were 2 separate notices to the owner. And one showed an inspection date, the earliest inspection date showed August 22nd, 2024. That's under a different number. It's under a number that ends with PSG. It's
It's a care of premises.
2405591 PSG.
Okay. Yep, okay. This property has over $40,000 of outstanding cleanup fees alone on it,
Yeah, I mean, that's.
which again, it's
That's-
not your fault, but.
Yeah, the owner owes that, I
Right.
recognize, and at some point, whoever buys the property is, they're gonna take it and have to pay that, right?
Right,
Yeah, so it'll be subject to, whatever liens the city places on it. And that, to me, gives the city a chance to recover their money. Or its money, our money.
yeah, okay. I would ask that the bank consider putting a fence around it so that we can, in the month, before that April 15th date, again, I know I'm not looking at the owner here, but just for purposes of safety. I will tell you, my intention on April 15th is going to be to order a demo. We can't, my intention today was to order a demo. With a sale pending, based on what you're telling me, I will give it 30 days. And if Ms. Flores wants to come, and explain further, that I'm happy to hear from her as well. I'm not going to issue a daily fine or a fine because they're $40,000 in. I don't think $100 is going to make a difference. But I'm putting on the record right now that my intention in April is to demo it if it is not sold and closed on and all this is done. I know that's a quick turnaround, but I can't let that. That's not going to be good if something bad happens at that building.
Well, I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying,
All right. So if you will ask the bank if they would be willing to put a fence around it, I'm not certain that I can order that, but if they would, I would appreciate it. And be back on the 15th. If there are any owners or anyone else that has an interest in this property that would like to also be heard, that is going to be their time because it will be ordered demo that day if we're not down the road on a sale. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Inspector. All right, the next matter we'll call on the docket is number 5, matter number 2409473 PSD regarding 401 East 66th Street and 6601 Fairfield Avenue. if you'll swear that.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right. All right, let's hear from property standards first. Inspector Thomas, where are we at?
Inspector Thomas for violation number 2409 473 PSD 401 East 66th Street. Your Honor, it was written up back in 9/27 and 24. I think I spoke with the owners, maybe, yeah, one time. And we were supposed to meet out at the property to talk about some things, but some scheduled conflicts got into us to where we couldn't.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of let him explain to the course what he planned on doing with the property himself.
All right, sir. Or ma'am, whoever wants to speak. Give me your name first so we can.
Gary Walker.
Okay. All right, tell me where we're at with this.
Well, the house that he's showing there, I have one question. Is that the only building, the 401? The one up front is not involved in this?
No, not on this violation, but it's also been written up as well too.
So you're saying you take care of this, nothing's gonna happen to the one in the front?
Well, we'll have to wait to see when they'll come up on the court docket. But right now, we just concerned with the 401.
You're saying the front one's gonna come up on the court docket?
Possibility, because it's been written up as well.
Let me ask this before we get too far down this road, because I think I have a similar question.
Okay.
On my docket, this shows 401 East 66th Street with a parentheses 6601 Fairfield Avenue. Is that all this building?
No,
So 6601 is the front building that you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's been written up but has not been put on our docket because it hasn't reached that point yet?
yeah, I don't think it reached that point yet.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, sir.
Well, this building has been broken in, not lately, but over time it has been broken in.
Okay.
And it's been tires in the yard and trash in the yard, and I've taken care of all the, that kind of stuff over this period of time. This house is not renovation good. It's been burned inside.
Okay. All right. So are you in agreement with a demo of that building?
I beg your pardon?
Would you be in agreement of a demolition of that building?
Well, I think that's, for that particular building, I think that's what would have to
What
happen.
needs to happen? Okay. Well, in that case, I can sign a judgment and get the city to put you in their queue to have somebody out there to demo it specific to that building. And then if there's anything else that comes up with the 6601 Fairfield Avenue, that'll come down the line unless y'all get that worked out ahead of time. But I can sign a judgment that says with everyone's agreement, we're going to go ahead and demo that structure since it's beyond repair.
Okay, you're saying the city will do the demo?
Yes, you'll have to reimburse them for it. They're very cost conscious about it, but the cost falls on you.
Okay, in the event that I can't pay that, because I probably can't, then what would take place?
Well, they can likely put you on a payment plan. They're not going to need all of it, immediately. The other option is that I would order the demo, and we all kind of get to the same end spot, regardless of whether you're in agreement or not. So it looks like I agree with you, it's not in a position to be renovated.
Yes, ma'am.
So I would likely order the demo anyway, and then just instruct the city to work with you on payment arrangements.
Okay,
Okay? So we can do that. I'll put that in there.
okay,
Okay? All right, so I will sign a judgment. You will get one in the mail. I usually sign them about a week after court, or within a week of court. So I'll sign that. You'll get it in the mail, and we'll get you in the queue to have the city come out and handle that building for you, okay?
thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day. All right, the next matter on our docket is number 6, regarding 2403393 PSG at 5729 Grantham Street. All right, do you want to go ahead and swear her in?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
All right, let's get an update from property standards first.
I'm Inspector White, inspector on record for 24393 PSG, 5729 Grantham. This property, this violation has been continued. I think we've been here maybe 2 other times prior to,
3 times.
3 times prior to this one. They have made a little progress. They slowly making a little progress on it, but it's
Slow.
slow. And I do understand the weather was kind of bad last month, but we do want them to kind of speed this thing up a little bit more. It still has a lot of work to be done. But we just need them to go ahead on and get it done, or we're gonna have to
Do it
do
ourselves.
something else.
Okay.
So you wanna like talk to her to see where they are on as far as how quick they can get this done, because we wanna get it done within the next 30 days.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and step up to the microphone and give me your name again.
Carol Maiden.
Yes, ma'am. All right, tell me where we're at.
We are slow. The weather, and he's had some medical issues, but we're gonna try to speed up the process.
Okay, when is,
Hopefully,
go ahead. Go ahead.
hopefully, with more than 30 days. Is that possible?
This has been pending 8 months, and it's just a cleanup. So, what's the reason that you think you need more than 30 days?
If I told you, you wouldn't believe it, but just because there's so much going on. And as I said about the weather, it is like the lawnmower can't get in there in some spots because it's so low, it's watery. But we were supposed to work on it yesterday, but I had more issues going on, so couldn't get to it. Went down there to try to cut the trees, the saw wouldn't cut. Just got a lot of this little stuff, but we trying.
All right, it looks like the past few times that you've been, we usually give you about 3 months. That does not appear to be getting the job done very quickly. So I'm going to bring it back in April. So the April 15th date, it needs to come back. I'm also going to issue a $100 fine because I apparently need to do something to make this a little bit more of a priority. So we're going to bring this back in April. This is your notice to be back on April 15th, although you will also get a notice in the mail. And I'm going to issue a judgment with a $100 fine. Hopefully that encourages this to move along faster, okay? We'll see you back April 15th, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next matter we'll call up is number 7 on our docket, 2411567 PSD regarding 7220 Idaho Drive. 7520 Idaho Drive. I think that's you again, Miss Inspector White. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's get an update from property standards first, and then we'll come to you, sir.
Oh,
Go ahead, Inspector White.
I'm Inspector White, inspector on record for violation 2411567 PSD, address 7520 Idaho Drive. This house can be rehabbed, but it's just deteriorating. I think last year we took down a storage building that was on site, but the house does need repair. So we would like the owners of this property to go ahead on and repair the property by a certain length of time.
Okay.
And if they don't do that, then we would like to look at possibly demolishing it.
Okay.
So if he could give us a time frame when he can repair or fix the roof and all the other repairs on his house, we'll give him a little time to do that.
All right, and let me just make sure that I'm looking at this correctly. When I'm looking at the photos from December of 2024 and I see the sort of overgrown shed, you're saying that's been demolished?
Yeah. the shed
Yes,
is
okay,
done.
all right. I want to make sure I'm just looking at the main structure on
Yes, ma'am.
on the property.
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, if you'll step up and give me your name and then tell me what your plan is with this property.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Michael W. Gay, and I am one of 6 siblings. Only 2 of us live here in this city of Shreveport.
Okay,
And basically, I'm the one that's been sharing the load,
right.
so to speak. And so I've talked with my other siblings, and the structure. I mean, it looks repairable, but when I talk to everybody, their consensus are that none of us are coming back or any of this sort. So my plan is to just have it, just torn down
Okay.
because.
Do you want to, if you want to do that privately, I'm fine with giving you some time to do that because it's
Yes,
not the
ma'am.
most dangerous structure I've seen. Is that what you would prefer, or would you rather me enter a judgment and go ahead and have the city do it?
Well, I don't know if the city can do it cheaper than I can have somebody to do it for.
I'm going to give you some time to get some bids and get that process started. I will tell you, obviously, I'm not going to let you take 6 months to get bids on that.
No,
But,
I don't need that much time.
Why don't we bring it back in May? We'll bring it back on the May 15th date. I will not be the hearing officer that date, but we'll have notes for the hearing officer who's there. Between now and then, if you get it demoed, that would be great. Inspector White can tell you whether you need to be here or not. If it's not demoed, you need to be back, and so we can figure out, are you going to privately demo it, or do we need to go ahead and issue a judgment to get it done?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll just bring you back May 15th, have some progress made on your demo plans so we can know where we're at with that, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Nice
you
to
being
meet
here
you,
this
Ms.
morning.
White.
Thank you.
Thank you, Inspector. All right, the next, the suspense. The next matter we'll call up is number 13 on our docket, 2403195 PSD, which is regarding 2714 Logan Street.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
All right, good morning, Inspector Ray. Where are we at on this?
Good morning. Inspector Ray for case number 2403195 PSD. Repairs are currently being conducted on structures to clear the violation, and progress is being made at this time. So I'm get a property owner a chance to explain to the court the time frame needed to rehab the process.
That sounds good. All good so far. Sir, give me your name and then tell me where we're at on this.
Good morning. My name is Dottis Pope. And right now, currently, we want to pretty much finish getting the outside done and vamped up to look nice. Any structure things, we're working on it in a phase.
Okay.
So perhaps maybe a month, May, June, or what,
Sure.
to try to get it done. But we want to definitely work on it to get it completed, to have it looking nice.
Okay. Inspector Ray, would you be more comfortable with 60 or 90 days, or do you care? Do you feel like its progress is being made?
60 days to
60
monitor.
days? Okay. That's kind of what I was thinking. So we'll reset you for the May date, May 15th. Keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems like it's headed absolutely in the right direction. And stay in good contact with Mr. Ray, which it seems like you've done. So
Yes, ma'am.
we will see you back on May 15th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
All right.
Thank you, Inspector. All right, the next matter we'll call is number 23 on our docket, 2405621 PSG regarding 2747 West Caperton Street. All right, if I could have everyone raise their hands to be sworn.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Good morning, Inspector Davis. Give me an update here.
I am Inspector Davis over 2405621 PSG 2747 West Caperton. We do have debris on the property, damaged fencing, not abandoned vehicle, but what appears to be inoperable vehicles on the property as well, behind fencing. There is a lot of clutter, a lot of car parts, a lot of trash, appliances, discarded appliances, boards, unidentified debris that I'm unable to, get a good description of. Piles of shingles, overgrowth, that he has addressed some of the overgrowth that's towards the front eastern part of the property right here. At first, you weren't able to see the boat in the earlier pictures, but you can see scrap metal, the boat, which I'm not sure is inoperable. I'll let him explain that. You have down fencing that's towards the front of the property that is neighboring to his east side. You have, can you go back one? You do have like board fencing, carport, gas cans, sheet metal, all kinds of stuff over there that does need to be removed off the property. And, given the concerns of the neighbor and everything like that, they do want a cleaner appearance. From what I did for him was explain to him everything that needed to be addressed. I do believe an appeal was filed. I did go out there in the process and explain to him and walked him through everything that he needs to know. I do believe that more could have been done, so I'll let them explain on their behalf.
All right, whoever wants to speak, come forward and give me your name.
J.W. Hines.
All right, sir, tell me what you've done and what you plan to do.
Well, I guess need a little bit more time. The weather been so bad, but now it seems that bearing off, So I'm saying that around May, or some other, I have it cleaned up.
Sir, the original inspection in this case happened in May of '24, so that's almost a year. Weather hasn't been bad for 10 straight months. I mean, I need to, it's not in good shape. Go ahead, you can speak. Just give me your name first.
Belinda Gray.
Okay?
Go
ahead.
I spoke with the inspector. The last time he and I spoke, he showed me a different area that needed to be cleaned. So my dad did start on that, cleaning it, and I myself took some time out and went down to the office and spoke with them, and they told me that the stuff that I showed them pictures of where my dad had did a lot of cleaning, I was asking for more time. They told me that that area was not the concern. It's the concern, the pictures that he have shown now, that is an improvement. It was worse than that.
Yeah, I can see the old pictures. I can see that there's been improvement.
So we just found out that that was the problem and not the other area. My dad worked on the other area when he could have been working in that spot, that area. I have pictures of an area where he said, which is the right-hand side of my dad's property. He have two properties, that one and the one on the right-hand side of it. The right-hand side is where my dad was focused on cleaning because that's what he told us we needed the cleanup on. If we had known it was this area that he's showing, that you guys are showing, he could have been working on that instead of the other side. So he's done a lot in a month or so to get that area done.
Okay. Inspector Davis, do you have anything else to add on this?
Other than that, I basically went out, explained everything to them. Like I said, they made some minor improvements with removing the overgrowth on the east side of the structure. But as far as everything else, that it does need to be cleaned up as far as scattered debris and all the other stuff, trash, gas can, need to be properly stored. So anything that they wish to keep
needs to be stored within a four-wall unit.
Right,
Everything that's discarded out there needs to be removed.
right, okay. Ma'am, are you related to this property?
She's a neighbor.
Oh, all right, go ahead. Yeah, we'll get you sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, ma'am. And give me your name too, just so I have it.
Your Honor, I'm Bobby Henderson.
Okay.
I live next door, 2743 West Caperton.
Yes, ma'am.
Right now, I'm residing at 2800 West Caperton Street on the corner from there.
Okay.
Simply because, due to the fact that the fence, all that stuff that you saw there, the boat and all of that, is on my side of 2743 West Caperton. The fence is broken down. It's 4 panels out of the wooden fence there. It's down. I want to put my fence back up, the wooden fence. I'm going to put another fence up. I'm not going to put the wooden fence up. I'm going to use
Okay.
the cyclone.
Okay.
I cannot move anything over there because there is sawdust and shingles up against the fence. I cannot move anything. If he would move all that stuff from against that fence, I have no problem with him living there. As a matter of fact, I do speak to him, godly way. But we need that cleaned up so we can live there. Now, I have 30 grandkids, 17 great-grands, and 5 great-great-grands. I'm 77 years old, made my 3 scores, so it's time that I enjoy life. I'm retired from Shreveport Police Department, 22 years, breast cancer. It's time for me to enjoy life. I want to enjoy my property. I have 1 cat, Jimmy. I have 1 dog, Chad. We need to enjoy our property. So if Mr. Hines would just move that stuff from against that fence so we could put our fence up and enjoy our home, I will be pleased with that.
Okay.
Of course, there are other things that needs to be done
Right.
there. He could do that in his time.
Okay.
I just want that moved.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate that. And that is helpful for us to get to a resolution here. Okay. I will note that there has been some minor improvement, not particularly significant, especially considering this has been pending since May of last year, which is 10 months. We have heard from Property Standards and Mr. Hines and our neighbor, Ms. Henderson. Did I get that right? Okay. And I understand I'm going to say this. The first issue that needs to be taken care of is this stuff along Ms. Henderson's fence. Let's deal with that stuff first. Mr. Inspector Davis, are you okay with that being the first priority? Yes, okay. All right, so let's try to get the stuff along the fence line handled first. That's going to make all this go a lot smoother. That is not the only thing that needs to happen with the property, I want to be clear. But in order of priority, because sometimes we have to prioritize these things, that would be what I would recommend handling first. I'm going to bring it back in April, April 15th. I'm also inclined at this time to issue a $100 fine because, again, this has been pending for quite some time, and I need to light a fire somehow, so that's how I'm going to do that. So I'll issue a judgment for a $100 fine and to come back in April, with the first focus being on getting the stuff moved away from the fence so that your neighbor can enjoy her property. Okay? Is that clear? Okay, all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Just want to make sure I wasn't being confusing. Okay, all right, we will see y'all back in April then.
All right. Thank you.
All right, the next matter we'll call up is number 27, 2404-244 PSD at 634 Topeka Street. Oh, okay. Do we? Oh,
By yourself? Where's the owner?
do we have the owner of 634 Topeka Street? I had them marked on my. Okay, go ahead, sir. Sorry, sometimes I move back from this microphone and not everyone can hear me.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, Inspector Hayes, go ahead and give me an update here.
I'm Inspector Lisa Hayes for case number 2404-244 PSD, which is 634 Topeka. I first wrote this case up in April the 12th of 24, and the house wasn't so bad itself. It was just the point that I was trying to get the owner to go ahead and place windows in it,
Right?
so it would not be messed up, and still, it looks the same. Nothing has changed on the house. The windows are still not in, and it just needs windows. I know the last time the owner was here, he said he was going through some things, understandably, but I just would like for him to place the windows in there and complete the structure. If not, something else needs to happen with it.
All right, sir, step up and give me your name and tell me why we don't have windows in this house.
Yes, Vincent Wright. I have put windows in, they need to be enclosed all the way. So it's two at the back, it's not put in. So it need to be, and then all the rest of them need to be enclosed. Last time I told him I was going to get those done. I have 3 vehicles been stolen and I had to repair those, get those back and get those done. And also all the property, taxes and all the vehicles and the house's taxes. So I'm currently working on it. I should have everything done in the next 30 days.
Okay, I'm not in construction, so I don't understand the concept of having windows, but they're not enclosed.
Well, what you see is everything around the window. Those, if you look on the side, when you see windows in, the white ones, those,
right there.
they got to be, all the way around it has to be enclosed. You can't be able to see it and get through the side of the windows.
Right, so that's still effectively open, right?
Right.
Okay.
But that's not windows right there. That's the other part has to be enclosed. The wall has to be enclosed around it.
So exactly, he needs to have them framed, so the semantics here, it needs to be closed up.
Right.
It needs to be all the way closed around. The
Right.
windows, it needs to be siding on there, it needs to be, it needs to be completed.
Yeah,
So
right.
you don't need to just have windows there and holes on the side of the windows, because it doesn't make any sense. So it all needs to be enclosed in.
Right. Yes, Mr. Wright, why, so you came here in January. I'm sorry, you first came here in November, and then you came again in January. And this whole time, we've just been talking about getting windows put in. I do not want to demolish a house that is otherwise viable,
Right.
but I also do not understand why it's taken 4 months to put windows in.
Right. Nobody explained to you I had 3 cars got stolen, and that's caused me to put money into that because you got to drive back and forth to work. So that's what happened in the process.
I also issued a $100 fine last time, and that has not been paid. So I'm going to need you to go pay that immediately after this. Otherwise, there's going to be a lien.
They pay that next door.
Is that next? If you get with Mr. Harris, he'll tell you where to pay it. I will give you until the April date, only because the rest of the house appears to be in decent repair. I understand money issues. I understand things getting stolen. I don't want to hear next time about how a window has been put in, but it's not closing the gap. I mean, the point of a window is to close the exterior from the interior. And so putting a window but not, You're not going to get anywhere with me on that. So get the windows put in by April 15th, or I'm going to issue another fine. And it'll be a daily fine this time. Okay? I don't want to do that. I don't want to take your money from that could be used towards the windows towards these fines, but I'm not sure what else to do to make you do it. So we're going to come back on April 15th. It's my next date that I have. Those windows need to be in by then. Okay? Or we're looking at a demo because I can't get you to do the windows. I don't know what else to say. All right, so we'll see you on April 15th, and then go get that, that fine paid that was issued last time, okay?
All right.
Thank you, Inspector.
Thank you, Honor.
All right, the next case up is going to be number 37 on our docket, 2409425 PSD regarding 2528 Regent Street.
Do you swear that, ma'am, get you to raise your hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
All right, Inspector Graham, let's get your update first.
Good morning, Inspector Graham.
Good morning.
I am not the inspector of record on this particular case. It was originally written up by another inspector who's
Okay.
no longer with us. This is 2528 Regent Street, violation number 2409425 PSD. It is a demolition. These photos were taken yesterday. It shows that the holes are still in the roof. As far as I'm concerned, no repairs have been made to the structure. That's don't clean it up. I'm talking about structure.
All right,
That's the rear structure, secondary structure that has collapsed, that needs to be demolished as soon as possible. And
that's a separate structure.
that's a separate structure that is
All right.
on that particular parcel.
Okay.
It's on that property. Since last time we were here, no repairs have been made to the structure. The viability of the structure itself, and the amount of time that the holes have been in that roof tells me that there's probably a considerable amount of interior water damage
Right.
and rot and deterioration. So I'll let the owner tell you what his plans are, and we'll try to work from that.
All right, sir, step up and give me your name, please.
How you doing? I recently just relocated down here.
Speak into that microphone. First of all,
Okay.
give me your name.
Oh, Albert Bryan.
Okay, all right. And then
Okay, I
speak into that
recently-
microphone.
Yeah, I recently was working out of town, and I did get a loan to get the house redone. So it hadn't went through yet because I just changed job to be relocated down here. So I was waiting on the loan to get it finished up, but it hadn't cleared yet. But that's what the plans are for that structure now.
So you got a loan that hasn't gone through yet.
No, ma'am. I just put it in because the job that I've been working out of town, but now I'm back in town and recently just got another job.
When did you do that?
The last month. So now I'm down here. I'm working down here. But the loan I put in about 3 weeks ago, since I've been back down here.
All right, well, we got a problem because this has been pending since September of last year. And I remember specifically our conversation last time
Yeah, with the roof, yeah.
about the roof.
I had tried to get that done, but financially the money just wasn't. I didn't have enough money to do that. That's when I tried to get 12 loan and all that to get it done. So the plans I had, it didn't go through. It fell through.
What were the plans that fell through?
Well, I was trying to get a loan at another place. It didn't go through. So the loan now, I'm just waiting on the money now to get it.
Have you been approved for the loan?
Yes, I have been approved for it.
Do you have any proof of that I can see?
I was trying to get my wife to email me a picture of the loan sheet, but she hadn't signed it yet over the phone.
All right. Is anybody living in this home?
Ma'am.
Are you living in this home, or is anybody living
Right
in this
next
home?
door to her.
Say-
Right down the street from my daughter. Stay right next door to her.
But nobody lives inside the structure.
No, ma'am.
When do you expect that loan to come through?
Well, they told me in the next 2 weeks or so.
All right. Do you have a roofing company lined up?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is it?
It's called Albert. It's guys that do roofing in the neighborhood. Albert something neighborhood. He does roofing. He's been doing it now for the last 15 years.
All right. Tell me about the other structure aside from the house. What do you plan to do with that? If
He's
anything?
gonna do all that. He's gonna retake that roof out and redo it, take it out. It just a tree branch fell in it.
So you've got a loan that's going to cover the roof on that
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
house and on that side building.
Yeah, on both, because the tree fell in that one. Insurance gonna take care of that.
All right. We're going to reset this one in May, just because my April docket's getting really full. So we're going to set it for May 15th. I'm going to issue a $100 fine because we specifically discussed the roof last time. And
Yes, ma'am.
if in May that
Yes.
roof is not fixed,
Yes.
there's going to be a daily fine.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And again, I'm not trying to make your financial issues more. I understand
Yes, ma'am.
it gets into a cycle here that's tough to get out of, but we gotta get moving on this. So I'm gonna we'll reset it for May 15th. I will not be the hearing officer that day, but I will get hearing officer Ferris up to speed, and I'm gonna issue a $100 fine. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I will tell you also, I don't know if he's gonna be inclined to give more time on the main structure, but on this side structure, if that roof's not fixed, it's coming down. Do you, you look like you want to say something. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Also, when they come back, we need to have the proof of the contractor. We need
Yes.
proof of the contractor, and we also need the other proof that he told you that he had.
Yes, proof of the loan and I mean, if the work's already being done, then I don't need proof of the loan, but proof of whatever is being done in the contract, all that's more helpful than not to bring. If we don't need it, then you've got it anyway. Okay? All right. Thank you, sir. We'll see you back in May, okay? Did you have something else, Inspector Graham?
He has one other case, ma'am?
Oh, he does. Which is at 2519?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that was the next one I was going to call, so everyone stay in your spots. Number 39 on our docket, 24091021 PSG, regarding 2519 Regent Street.
Charles Graham, once again, Inspector of Record for 2519 Regent Street, violation number 24091021 PSG. This was a cleanup that has been on the docket several times. As of yesterday, the rear yard, the tree has been removed, the inoperable vehicle was removed, and all the overgrowth on the fence rows has been removed. So as of today, I would like to call that as being abated.
Perfect. We got a 50% success rate today, Mr. Bryant. It's better than nothing. All right, so we will show that matter abated. You do not have to do anything else with that property, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you for getting that one cleaned up. I appreciate it. All right, do we have our next one? All right. All right, the next matter we'll call on the docket is number 4, 2409430 PSD regarding 804 Bates Street.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me get an property standards update first, and then we'll come to you.
Inspector Thomas for violation number 2409430 PSD, 804 Bay Street. Your Honor, this property was written up on 9/10 of 2024. Since it was written up, the owner have stayed in constant contact with me. She also did a great job at cleaning up the property, and she got a little bit more debris that she's going to get cleaned up as well. but she also informed me that she wanted to demo the house herself.
Okay.
So out of all fairness to her, I would like to give her 60 days to be able to find a contract that's suitable enough for her to be able to demo the house.
Sure. Ma'am, if you'll step up and give me your name and then just confirm if all that's correct.
Ebony,
You don't have to put your hand up.
I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Ebony Taylor Jackson.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So he pretty much said everything. When we found out what we had to do, we pretty much got on it.
Okay.
You know, just got on it, got the job done. Just pretty much, we do want to tear it down. We just need more time to get a contract, to get a quote, and that's pretty much that. We, moving forward, we will keep it cleaned up. Just go by, check up on it.
Right.
Make sure everything is good. Other than that, that's pretty much that.
Okay, great. Do you think that 60 days is enough to get you at least some bids and
Yes,
started on the
ma'am.
process?
It is.
Okay. All right, so we will bring you back on May 15th, just so you can give an update on where
Yes.
we're at on the demo. If the demo's already done, you just stay in contact with the property inspector and you won't have to come back here.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for all your work on that. All right, the next matter we'll call up is number 10 on our docket, 2309496 PSD, 117 Holtzman Avenue.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, let me get an update from Inspector Ray first.
Yes, ma'am. Inspector Ray for 2309496. At this time, all three structures are still in a state of disrepair and deterioration. Mr. Bell stated to me that he has three options to sell or donate the properties. But at this time, I recommend that the process that we proceed with the demo process. I need it ordered by court due to this violation being open since September of 2023.
All right. Mr. Bell, go ahead and give me an update here.
Okay, first of all, I want to report that although it's been in violation of 2023, I've never received any communication during that time. It was sad due to, I think it went to, not to think, I know it had to go to the wrong address from where I used to live at 2514 Portland Avenue. And I'm sure that's probably where the communication was sent to, and not to 3806 Shadow Drive,
Okay.
where I've been living for the last 23 years.
Okay.
So I had not received those communications in that regard.
All right.
In relationship to, and also add that I would hope that we would hold up on the demolition of that property till I can get it sold. And I received a text message this morning from Rick Bell, a person who was handling to try to sell that property to Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in Allendale on Perrin Street. And he said, last time I was here, I reported to you guys that, pardon me for saying you guys, Your Honor, pardon me. I said that I would make them an offer they couldn't refuse. And I thought that was going to be the case. I got a communication from Rick Bell this morning saying that he contacted the pastor, and of course he didn't return his calls for several times. And when I finally caught up with him, he said they didn't have any money. And the reason for it is saying they didn't have any money, or they wanted to buy the property, they didn't have any money because of the fact that many of the elder people had died in the church who were paying good money, and that they have teenagers, mostly teenagers now, and young adults, and the older people they have now are retired, and very little money is coming into the church. So those were the reasons they gave for not being able to purchase the property. Although I thought I was making an offer to them, they couldn't refuse by donating the property to them and putting in the name of my mother in memory. And I would pay the taxes, the balance of the taxes on it, but they still say they didn't have any money. And if the building had been demolished and it had been in the church's name, the city had agreed to let them pay only $50 per month on the demolition destruction. So they still said they didn't have any money, so I guess they must have changed their mind. Since that time, I
have a meeting on the 23rd of this month with the group from Dallas, Texas, who's interested in the property. On the 23rd of this month, they're supposed to be meeting with me and looking at it and making that decision. I've also contacted, or tried to contact, I should say, Mr. Statlander. I believe he's the director of the adjudication of property here in Shreveport. I've made 3 calls to him, but I've got no response. I've left messages, left my telephone number, my name, indicated why I was calling, because I wanted to see if I could donate the property to the city of Shreveport as a last resort, and want to see what we could work out about the taxes, whether I need to continue to pay the taxes or they will forgive the taxes if I donated the property to the city of Shreveport. The other thing in addition to that is, since I could not reach Mr. Statlander, he not returned my calls. I was going to talk with the city attorney, I should say, of Shreveport, who handles the property division section, to see if I could work out something with him. As a matter of fact, today when I leave here, to see if I could make contact. I was just so certain I was going to make contact with Mr. Statlander. I was just so certain he's going to turn my calls and see what we could work out on donating the property to the city of Shreveport. Since that fell through, like I said, my next 2 options would be meeting with this business group on the 23rd of this month to look at the property, see if they want to purchase it, and continue to talk with people who buy houses.
All right. Okay. Did you say something? Okay. All right. Mr. Simmons, you're wanting to speak on this matter? Okay, come forward, get sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Simmons. Tell me what your
Yes,
relationship is to all this.
My name is Samuel Kane. My mother-in-law lives across the street from this property.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been here on just about every occasion, sitting in on this to see what's going to happen to
Sure.
this property. I've come through that. My mother-in-law, she's 87 years old, and she calls me at some nights telling me that people actually sleeping on the porch on one of these properties on Prairie Street, which her being that old, elderly people living in the area, that's a concern.
Right.
And the property they're eyesores.
Right.
Okay. And I was here the last time that the question was brought up about what was going to happen to the property,
Right.
about the church and everything, supposed to be communicating with him.
Right.
Well, my mother-in-law talked to the pastor of the church, okay, and he said that conversation never took place. Now, I don't know how long this is going to go on. This is going on for a while. But the houses, they're collaborated,
Right.
not repairable, and we are hoping that the property get demolished.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Simmons. I appreciate you being here.
Okay.
All right. Do I have anything else from either our inspector or Mr. Bell?
Yes, I do.
Okay, briefly.
I'm amazed and astonished at the comment the gentleman just made a moment ago about nobody has been talking with the pastor. That's a untruth. I'm gonna say it like that's an untruth.
Okay.
I would pray that one of y'all would call the pastor to see if that's true or not, because I know for a fact the pastor would tell you that's true. I've talked with him. Rick Bell has talked with him. So that comment was made just a moment ago. It's true. I just fabricated a lie.
Okay. All right. I understand that there are 2 different versions of what happened with the pastor. That does not really weigh into the decision that I'm going to make in this matter. I will note that the original inspection in this case did occur September of 2023. I do understand that there may have been a service issue. I have an appeal letter from Mr. Bell from September of 2024, so it's been known to Mr. Bell at least that long. You did appear back in November requesting 120 days. We gave you 60 days to get this done. You were here in January, and everything according to what you were telling me, everything was getting really close to being done as far as a sale. I understand things fall through. I'm not telling you that's your fault or anything, but it appears that that has fallen through. I do have concerns about these structures. I am going to go ahead and order the demolition of the structures. That does not prevent you from donating the property, I'm sure, or selling the property. I'm sure that there might be people who are interested in that. But we've just been here too many times on this structure, and there's not been any progress made. So I'm going to go ahead and order the demo of the structures. You will get a copy of the judgment in the mail. Go ahead, sir.
Just have one question.
Go ahead.
Only one property is in bad enough shape to be demolished, and that's a two-story property. The other two properties have a solid foundation, need a roof on them, but they're a solid foundation. And I don't think they should be demolished.
The roof, I think, is a significant enough issue that I am going to order the demo of all of the structures on those properties. Okay. I appreciate you telling me that, though. You will get a judgment in the mail soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next matter we'll call up is number 14 on our docket. Regarding 2410497 PSD at 2816 Anna Street. Have an owner. All right, sir, if you'll raise your hand and get sworn in for me.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you.
All right, Inspector Ray, where are we at?
Yes, ma'am. At this time, the structure has been rehabilitated other than a little cosmetic, which is paint. And there's no longer a demo candidate. And shade in the back, storage shade in the back has been demolished and removed. So at this time, I recommend that the violation be closed.
All right, sir, go ahead and give me your name just so we can mark that you're present.
Tristan Sparks.
Tristan Sparks, perfect. Mr. Sparks, I assume you don't have any issue with us closing this out? No, ma'am. Okay, all right, you don't have to come see us anymore. We'll close this out, and I appreciate you getting all that stuff fixed, okay? And thank you for sitting here this morning. I know it's been kind of a lengthy one. All right, the next matter we'll call on our docket is number 20-2409-1056 PSG regarding 2957 Nettie Street.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, Inspector Williams, where are we at?
Okay, Inspector LaWanda Williams for 2409-1056 PSG, 2957 Nettie Street. Talking about, he got a whole bunch of junk in the back of the yard.
All right.
We had to cut our way to the backyard. I don't know what his plans are, because I think he said somebody was living in the house.
My stepmom and 3 adults. After my dad died, they said they were going to move, but the last 2 just left like weeks ago.
Okay, I remember seeing your note. Yes, okay.
So what I'm asking for is to give him 60 days to clean it up, or we go in and clean it up.
Okay, sir, step forward and give me your name, and then tell me if there's any additional information you want me to have.
Vincent Henderson.
Okay.
Only thing I could say, my dad, he was a carpenter. He was kind of a pack rat, anytime he saw anything that he thought he could make something out of, he drug it to the house. I left in 1982 when I got on the fire department, and I hadn't been back other than just visited. But there was 3 adults there with my stepmom, and they just didn't do anything.
Okay.
My dad died, and I did, when I got the notice, there's a neighbor down the street that does kind of clean up, so I contacted him in October. He removed the 2 boats.
Okay.
Cut down some trees, some bushes and stuff like that, but obviously other stuff needs to be done.
Right. Do you have a plan to get that done, or would you rather that I just order the city to do it and send you the bill?
Um, I would try, I would like sometimes to try to get the rest of it done. Initially, I was focused on the front because you could even see the house.
Right.
And now you can see, you've taken a recent picture after the boats and stuff were removed. But that, I think the court asked me, to like that barbecue pit and stuff like that. The people that were living there, they were still using all that stuff. So
Okay. And the house is empty now, is that right?
yes, but they still, from what I talked to one of my neighbors, a childhood friend that lives over there still, he said they still coming
Pop in.
over,
Okay.
like hanging out, barbecuing,
Okay.
and drinking, stuff like that. So, it's been a contention, because me
Sure.
and my stepmom, we don't really see it. I had to do a succession on the
Okay.
property because that wasn't a will, so.
Okay. All right. Um, Inspector Williams, do you have any issue with giving him 60 days to try to get, now that it is somewhat empty, so he can try to get some of this handled himself?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. We're going to reset you for May 15th, sir. Try to have a lot of this stuff moved out. I don't care where you take it. I just, you need to legally, but you need to make that home it's just, we worry about critters. I don't think that's a technical legal term, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's sort of a hazard with, if people walk up, there's a lot of tripping hazards and all that kind of thing. We don't want that, I know you don't want that either. So, but I do understand the delay with having people living there. That's tough to navigate. So get as much as you can done in the next 60 days. And then hopefully we'll keep working towards getting that abated. Okay? All right. So May 15th.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, the next matter we'll call up is number 24 on our docket, 2408990 PSG at 2904 Midway Street.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, Inspector Davis, give us an update.
I'm Inspector Davis over 2408990 PSG. Still a lot that does need to be addressed. They have made progress removing some of the items that were listed in the violation, but there's still work that does need to be addressed on the property as far as removing the vehicle, the trash. Apparently, it looks like they put a lot of focus into trying to fence it up to, I guess, make it out of sight, out of mind. But we do need trees that does need to be removed. We do need, containers. I don't know if they're filled with chemicals or something, but those need to be removed. Drywall, plywood, coolers, furniture, tires. A lot of stuff
Inoperable
needs
cars.
to be addressed.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say that they have made some improvement, but it's still work that does need to be
All right.
addressed. And I do recommend that we push forward with cleanup.
Okay. All right. And sir, you're Mr. Rayburn, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Tell me what your plan is here.
Well, we've already made a call to pick up the trash that's on the curb last week.
Okay.
Last Wednesday. Any other piles that are here can be just drug out to the curb once stuff on the side's been picked up. And everything else can be put away into our shed. For the truck, we're still waiting on the person who actually owns it to come and pick it up.
Okay. When are they doing that?
We haven't heard yet, but my father should be getting in touch with them soon.
Okay. The pile that's on the street that you said you called solid waste to pick that up. When did y'all put that out there?
We've been piling it out there. I made the call last week for it.
Right, but when did you put the pile of stuff out there?
Well, it's been in the process probably since 3 weeks ago.
All right, you were here 2 months ago. I'm just trying, is that the first pile of stuff that's going to be hauled off since the last time you were here?
No, since we're here, we've already had that pile that was in the previous image has already been hauled off. That's the pile that's waiting to get hauled off.
All right. This one's going to come back in 30 days. So you'll be back on April 15th. There's going to be a $100 fine. If it's not, well, there needs to be significant improvement before April.
Okay.
And that may mean that you need to get a trailer out here and haul it off somewhere. I know that's more work, but there's so much stuff out there that it's going to take a lot of trips from solid waste that you probably need to go ahead and get a trailer and haul it off to wherever we take waste.
Okay.
And you can tell the owner of that vehicle that they are going to cause you to get fined next time on a vehicle if they don't get out there and move it. Okay. All right. So we'll see you back in April, and there will be a $100 fine issued. That judgment will go out in the next few days.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. Next matter is going to be 31 on our docket. 1800014 PSD regarding 2418 Portland Avenue.
Do you swear? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor.
Inspector Hayes, go ahead and.
I'm Lisa Hayes on case number PSD 1800014 2418 Portland Avenue. Yeah, the last court case we had, the owner was out of town, so we had to schedule for this point. And I just don't know what else to say. I haven't seen anything done, but I don't know what his plans are or where we are, so I'm just gonna have to let him speak because my pictures are kind of like the same.
Okay.
Maybe there was some paint, maybe some wood put up, but I like to give him a chance to speak and see what he's gonna say about it.
All right, sir, go ahead and come forward, tell me your name, and give me an update.
My name is Jordan Turner.
Yes, sir. Speak right into that microphone. Sorry, it's a little hard.
My name is Jordan Turner.
Okay.
As of late, we have been.
Sorry, stay up close to the microphone.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm farther away than it seems like.
As of late, we've been in the stage of cleaning up. I have had my roof repaired. We have been doing some painting operations lately to kind of like improve curb appeal. My windows have been boarded up. My soffits in the not the soffits, but my fascia boards in the front have been done. We are in the process of completing the soffits and to make sure that all of my unders are repaired. But as far as the list is concerned, I've gone down the list and itemized, and we have made a really good run at all of the things that were violations at the time of inspection. We can start at the top. So it says that every exterior wall shall be free of holes, breaks, loose, or rotting boards or timbers. I believe we've completed that.
All right, Inspector, I want to do these one at a time so I don't lose. Inspector Hayes, is that correct? Is the exterior?
He has, I mean, I can say that he's working. I wasn't the original inspector that
Sure,
wrote it up
right.
to begin with back in 19. But when I go out, I can see things that have been done. The problem is it's really not a demo candidate. You can see that they're doing things to it, but I don't know what else to say, or I don't know if he needs to be fined or what about the property. He is doing stuff intermittently in between there, but
Well, my
I
previous
don't know.
inspector told me that he would abate my property once I had the roof done on the main house, because he said that was the main point of his contention with this house.
With the house.
He said that the curb appeal needed to improve basically to get me out of the court.
Right.
And he said I would be on my own after I did things that were basically a good faith measure and
Right.
making sure that this house was secure from the neighborhood, because they were mainly worried about people going in this large of a house, starting fires, and
Right.
it being a danger for the fire department.
Correct.
So far as we look at it, we are doing kind of like we're coming to what you guys said is the larger fires to go get ahead and get
Right.
those put out, so we can kind of start getting the renovation actually underway.
Okay. So, we did note in November when you were here that the roof had been fixed.
Yeah.
At that time, oh, go ahead.
And let me just say this. Yeah, it's a structure that's going to be ongoing for a moment.
Right.
Would you mind if we would just monitor this and really close it out in this court, and I just monitor them with them and talk back and forth with them? Because it's going to be an ongoing process, and I'm not exactly sure what the owner actually has planned for it, but it's actually kind of structurally sound. And I would rather just monitor with him and talk back and forth instead of keep.
Yeah, I was
coming
gonna
back
say,
and
you know, I don't want us moving the goalpost on you where you think you've completed everything and then now we have a new problem, right? I don't think that's fair. And you have, I mean, this is your 12th time to be here, or 11th or 12th time to be here. You've been making improvements every time. Let me just ask, the exterior stairs and porch, are those sound now structurally?
Yes.
Enough? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, they are. The side now has a structure, it has a overhang over it, redid the stairs, put up the guardrails.
Okay.
There's another porch in the back of the house. It's been
Redone?
but it's not accessible yet.
Okay.
And so I have yet to redo the stairs, but as far as
Okay.
redo them, I did redo them.
Okay. All right, and there's windows now? We're good on windows? Okay. All right, yes, I agree with Inspector Hayes, and from the nods, I believe the owners, in just taking this out of environmental court to stay in contact with with Inspector Hayes, make sure everything is still moving in a positive direction. But with her testimony that it's structurally sound, and what I'm looking at doesn't appear to be structure, it does still lack some curb appeal, but structurally, I don't think that it is not particularly of concern. So y'all two stay in contact with each other, make sure you keep working on it, because if there becomes a structural issue, they'll bring it back here. And I know you love to come see me, but you may not want to come back a 13th time. So just stay in contact with her, and we'll take this out of environmental court so that y'all don't have to keep coming back, okay? All right.
I feel like one of
I know,
them
right?
glad, I mean,
And thank you for all the work you've done on that property. I know it's been a lot. All right, we're going to call number 32 and 33 next, which is 2407355 PSD and 2407829 PSG, both regarding 3121 Meadow Street. All right, let me get you both sworn.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, let's get an update from our inspector first.
Okay, good morning. My name is Inspector Aisha Blunt. Violation number 2407355 PSD for 3121 Meadow Street, and also 2407829 PSG, 3121 Meadow Street. As far as the PSG, he did go back out yesterday. He mowed the lawn and got up the trash and stuff that was out there. As far as the PSD, well, I wanted to close out the PSG, so
Okay.
we can go ahead and close the PSG out.
All right.
If that was okay. And as far as the PSD, he also have other properties that was in more
disrepair,
worse condition
Okay.
than this one. So what he did with this one was he did board up all the windows. So we're just asking for more time for him to get this one done.
All right.
And I'll let you.
Okay, perfect. Sir, if you'll step up and give me your name.
Yes, my name is John O'Neill.
Okay, perfect. And I assume that you don't have a problem with us closing out the PSG, the care premises case, right? We'll just show that as closed out.
Say that again.
We'll show that everything's been handled on the
Yes, ma'am.
care premises. All right, now when it comes to the demolition piece, tell me where you're at with the structure of this facility.
Okay, the other property that I have, like she say, very worse than that.
Okay.
And my concern was taking care of that one first.
Right.
And now that I done that, I can start on that one.
Okay.
And
Is your plan to rehab it or demo it?
rehab it.
Okay.
Mhm.
How much time do you think you need for that?
Well, yesterday I actually went around there and completed that property right there.
Mm-hmm.
Got everything up. It was a lot of bricks and stuff that was just laying around because
Okay.
it had some stuff had been torn down, like in the backyard, like all that stuff right there. I picked all that stuff there up and
All right.
I keep the grass cut and that property right there. I actually will be starting on that next.
Okay.
I just didn't want them to tear it down.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm not going to order a demo of it today. I'm just trying to figure out how much time to give you. Because you have boarded it up pretty well, and I'm comfortable with how it sits for the moment. I'm going to give you 90 days. I normally do 30 or 60, but I'm going to give you 90 days to get so you can have some more time to get rolling with whoever you're going to have do the rehab. I don't know if you're doing that personally or if you're going to have somebody else do it. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, ma'am, I'm listening.
Okay. So I'm going to give you till the June 12th date. I do, because that is 90 days, I do want to see significant progress. I obviously expect more progress in 90 days than 30. But I think you're working in good faith to get it done. So we'll show the PSG care premises closed out, and we will show the PSD reset for June 12th. Okay? And just stay in good contact with your inspector. Yes, ma'am?
No, I would just.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
He have the other property as well.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
2927 Lane.
I didn't realize you meant you had another property on our docket today. Okay. All right, so the next one we will call up is the Looney Street?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so the next one we'll call up is 35 and 36, which are 2309490 PSD and 241012007 CAB at 2927 Looney Street.
Okay, so, for case number 2309490 PSD, 2927 Looney Street, I would recommend that we close it out. He's made a significant, he's really done a good job with it.
Yeah, that's a cute house.
So that's the one that was actually in the way
Condition,
worse
right.
condition.
Okay.
As the one on Middle Street. So he pretty much redone it. And as far as case number 241012007 CAB, I'm gonna let him explain to you why he haven't moved that vehicle.
Okay, we'll show the PSD closed, but go ahead on the inoperable vehicle.
Yes, ma'am. I actually had been working around the clock on getting that property there taken care of. And now that I done that, I'm starting on everything else, like that vehicle right there. I plan on getting it up to date. Like, it need a motor in it.
Does it crank? Okay, all
It
right.
need a motor in it.
All right. You got plans to do that soon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I would normally never give 90 days for a CAB, but
it'll crank up, but it just it had a tapping noise.
okay. Go ahead.
As far as the vehicle, I would like to just recommend them extend it like 30 days to move it. Or
Is 30 days going to be enough time for you to get that moved? Okay. All right, so what we will do is we will set that back on the April 15th date. If you've got it moved, just let your inspector know, and you won't have to come back here. I'm not trying to make you come back every month. So if that gets handled, she'll just make a note, and we'll clear it out. But get that done in 30 days.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't give as long on cars because they take a little less time in theory. And then we will see you back on the Meadow Street matter on June 12th. Okay? All right, thank you so much. And thank you for all your work on that house. It looks really great now.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
You too. All right, 34 on our docket, 2408385 PSD regarding 1738 Murphy Street. All right, sir, let me go ahead and get you sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I cannot swear but can affirm that
Okay.
my testimony will be true and correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, Inspector Blunt, where are we at?
All right, this is for violation number 2408385 PSD, 1738 Murphy Street. It's in for, it is in for a demolition. I know I was out and he spoke with the courts and said that he needed more time because he did apply for a funding. So as of yesterday, he did show me proof that he made a step forward as far as the funding being accepted, so I'll just let him explain to you guys on what's this next step.
All right, sir. And you're Mr. Short, right?
That is correct.
Okay, all right, tell me where we're at.
Yes, as we had stated previously that I did apply for funding. We do have some motion on it, but I've got a letter here saying that I had to come into the office to resubmit paperwork that previously probably they lost or something. I have no idea.
Okay, can you hand that to him so he can let me see it?
The phone as well.
What's on the phone?
Well, it's showing where progress has been.
Okay, sure, yes, and I promise that's the only thing I'll look at. Nobody wants people flipping through their phone.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing
Oh,
on
it's
there.
locked, okay. All right.
Yeah, so on Thursday of next week, I will go back in the office and I have all my documentation ready to represent to the agency, and that can be moved forward.
There haven't been any improvements made, correct?
No, no improvements.
All right. I will note that the original inspection in this matter occurred August 2nd of 2024, which is 7 months ago. The appeal form was dated August 15th of 2024, which is, again, 7 months ago, almost exactly. I'm concerned about the safety of the structure. I do understand that you're waiting for funding, but I also have to weigh the safety issue. And I'm looking at the pictures, and I'm also seeing that, again, nothing's been done. At this time, I am going to go ahead and order the demo of the property, of the structure, rather, not the property, at Murphy Street. I know I have viewed what you provided me, which was the documentation regarding a tax refund that should be coming your way, but also there's no information about how much that's going to be. There's also, this has just been pending for too long for us to have no progress. So go ahead.
Yes, I just want to state for the record, Mr. Shaw still lives there.
Oh, okay.
So it's,
Okay.
what Well, he's having just some issues as far as funding wise, so, whatever, I'm not sure what other steps we need to take in order to get these ball on the road, but he does still reside there
Okay,
at
all
this
right.
time.
I'm glad you said that. I did not realize that you were residing in this home. All right, that is going to change my decision. I'm not gonna make you not have a home. Yeah, at this point, to be clear, this has got to get fixed quickly. When do you think that funding is supposed to come through?
Well, I have an appointment here as per the letter on the 20th of next week.
Of next week, okay.
So I'll be able to go in there and resubmit because I don't know what happened between, but I've been sent this paperwork out.
Right, you told me that last time. I remember, and I think you showed me proof of it last time.
Right. And so I don't know because of the new administration coming in, I don't know what went on, but I would, I have my documents that I did send. Fortunately, I made copies of those.
Right.
And I can go right into the office.
Okay, and just
have
resubmit.
Right, and have all that right there at the office, because I didn't want to mail it again, because I didn't want to go backwards, because I mailed it before and it's not there, so.
Right.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay. We'll reset, let me see. Let's reset this one for April. I don't expect all of this to be handled by April, but, let's see, we're on 34. We'll reset this for April 15th. Hopefully you'll have some answers by then on some funding. I'm going to recall what I said earlier about the judgment because, again, I did not realize that you lived in that particular structure. I should have asked that question. So we'll come back on April 15th. Do like you always do and bring proof of what you're doing for funding because that helps me justify my decisions, okay?
Correct.
All right, we'll see you on April 15th, okay?
Thank you.
And thank you for stepping in and making me realize that. All right, the next matter we'll call on our docket is 4324-10124 CAB at 1645 Juniper Drive.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what have we got here?
It was an inoperable vehicle at this particular address, 1645 Juniper Drive, violation number 2410-1249 CAB. As of yesterday, the vehicle had been removed.
Yes,
It was no longer in the driveway.
No, sir. It's not.
Okay, fantastic.
So we can call it abated.
Perfect. And ma'am, can you just give me your name so I can mark that you were here?
My name is Terry Washington.
Okay, perfect. I assume you don't have an issue with us closing this out?
No, ma'am, not at all.
You can be done with us.
Thank you so
All right, thank
much.
you for getting that moved and handled.
Appreciate
And
your
I'm
time.
sorry it took so long this morning.
It's okay.
Thank you.
All right, the next matter is number 44-240185 PSG at 2617 Lyles Lane. Do I have an inspector for 2617 Lyles Lane?
Miss,
Oh, sorry.
do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
All right, let me get an update from property standards first, and then you can give me your update. Let me hear from him first, and then I'll come to you.
Yes, ma'am. Charles Graham, once again.
Yes, sir.
This is 2617 Lyles Lane, violation number 240185 PSG. It was a care premise violation that was written up initially. It's been a long time. And this is another case that I'm following up on.
I thought you weren't the original inspector. Okay.
Seems that it was written up initially January 30th of '24.
Correct.
We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 court appearances. As of yesterday, the structure itself was secured. It seems to have been painted somewhat. There's still no power or gas to the structure. The majority of the care appearance violation has been abated, and the large portion of the large tree has been removed. The only thing that's left is a pile of sticks, limbs, and debris from the tree, and some of the large part of the lower part of the tree in that one corner of the yard.
Okay.
But I would like to try to go ahead and maybe close it. She's made a whole lot of progress to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd like to see what she has to say and what our steps are moving forward as far as continuing to remove the rest of the debris.
All right. Ms. Humphreys, go ahead. It's Ms. Humphreys, right?
Ardwin, yeah,
Oh,
Humphrey.
Ardwin, okay. I'll call you whatever you prefer, sorry. Ardwin, I'm sorry. I see now. Tell me where we're at on this.
Well, I've had the tree cut,
Mm-hmm.
and I have somebody that wants the wood.
Okay.
If they don't come get the wood, I'm gonna call the people back that cut the tree.
Okay.
And let them take the wood.
Okay.
And once that's done, because see, they had to take the fence down in order to get back there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put a privacy fence all the way around because I have to take everything out of them buildings to rebuild the buildings back.
Okay.
One of them's got to be removed, but I want to save that one, you know, because somebody built it for me.
Okay.
And I'm going to have it rebuilt.
Okay.
But I want that privacy fence so nobody will be seeing.
Looking in. Right. Okay. Given what Inspector Graham has said and the significant progress that has been made, I've seen the old pictures, I've seen the new pictures. I do think we're probably in a position to close this out. Of course, if there becomes a further problem, they can bring it back into environmental court. So
I'm bringing the home. Once I get this yard, I'm going back to the house.
Okay.
And get the house back.
In good shape. Okay. All right. So we'll, with property standards agreement, we'll go ahead and show this closed. And if there are further issues, you can always bring it back. But it seems like we're very much headed in the right direction on this one. So we'll show that one closed out. Did you get an? Do I need to get an address for her?
Well, she's been getting her mail, but I would ask her if she.
Miss Ardwan, do you mind giving me your address? I think we might have a bad one on file. The address for us to mail things to.
To mail it to?
Yes.
To mail. What you want to mail? 9110 Linwood, lot 123.
Okay. And is that 71101?
7106.
6. Okay. Sorry, I'm very bad at the zip codes around here. Unless it's mine, I don't know it. Okay. I just wanted to make sure we had a good address on file for you in case we need to reach you again.
Okay.
But okay, we will show this matter closed out. You do not need to come back. Just, do whatever property standards ask that you do, but you're well on your way.
I'm bringing the home back.
Yeah, I can tell. It looks so much better than it did. Thank you for all your work you've put into it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. The Marjorie Street. Okay. All right, do I have any other homeowners here that I have not called yet? You're at for Marjorie Street? Okay, all right. Other than that one, are there any others? Okay. Ma'am, you can go ahead and come up on 3275 Marjorie Street. This is an off-docket matter, and the case number is, if you just scroll on, is 240161 PSD regarding 3275 Marjorie Street. I will say that this is just sort of a courtesy to put it on today's docket because nobody has the files with them for this matter. But ma'am, go ahead and give me your name, and then I guess tell me what you're wanting us to handle here.
My name is Denise Glover Jones.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, what was?
Swear you in.
Oh, yeah. Let's get you sworn in first.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me why you're here today. Since you're not on a docket, tell me what you're trying to accomplish today.
I've spoken with Miss Washington and Miss Williams during the time of this, and I apologize. I've been hospitalized twice.
Okay.
Since this, due to, believe it or not, E. coli.
Oh, gosh.
From E. coli in the hospital, IV fluid overload, pneumonia, and congestive heart failure.
Oh, bless your heart.
Along with other prior.
Right.
Yeah,
That's just the icing on the cake. I get it.
Yes, ma'am. Cancer and lupus and all that other stuff that's going on. But I apologize. My personal finances are not allowing me to do it, and I've had 2 people to come out and look at the home, and I've been given. I was told Ms. Washington the last estimate was $21,000 to do the minor repairs that Ms. Williams asked me to have done.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at with it, and I'm just going to do the best I can, especially with my own personal finances, to getting things done.
Right. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Inspector Williams.
Yes, ma'am. I was thinking like the fines can be removed.
Okay.
So she can save some money to get this house, some of the work done anyway.
Okay.
We can drop it down to a monitor.
Has anything been done on it?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I will note that you have paid $700 in fines already, and the point of this court is not to increase people's financial difficulty. That's not the point of what I'm trying to do here. I don't know that I am comfortable reducing it to a monitor at this point, but I do certainly understand your health concerns and your financial concerns. Why don't we give it a little bit longer set out, like to the June date, and see if we can get some progress made by then. So let's put it on for June 12th. That's our June date. On that date, bring proof of whatever plans you have or contractor you've hired, bids you've got, anything that shows progress being made towards getting this handled. Bring that with you because that'll make things a little bit easier. I will go ahead and lift the monthly fine for now. Well, I will lift the monthly fine. I will also tell you that if we don't see improvement, I'm doing that to give you a little financial breathing room. I know it's not a lot, but it's all I can do. I will also, I think you're behind 2 months on paying that $100. I will show that that's, I'll just show that not due anymore. We'll remove that from the system. So you do not, I'm going to stop the fines and let you put that money towards rehabbing this structure. I'm not going to let it hang out for a really long time while it continues to be an unsafe structure, right? Safety is my main concern. So get with your property standards inspector and figure out what needs to be done in what order. If y'all could maybe get together and make a priority list of what is most important. Sometimes it helps to take these things one bite at a time. So y'all get together and make a list and determine what needs to happen first, and you can work towards that. So we'll reset you June 12th, get some progress made between now and then, and I will lift the fines that are currently being assessed, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And to be clear, you said the 2 months that's behind, you want me to?
I'm going to have them remove those, so you don't need to pay those.
Okay.
You can do that, right? Yeah. All right. So we'll just see you back on June 12th with a good plan on how you're gonna move forward. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you, and thank you for coming today to get an update. All right.
Thank you.
Do I have any other property owners that have shown up in the interim? All right. I'll go through these cases that we have left, starting with case number 1-24101-223 PSG at 574 East 77th Street. Inspector DeBro, I hate that you had to sit here all morning just for one case.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, where are we at with this?
I'm Inspector Jeffrey. The violation number is 2410122 3 PSG 5 74 East 77. We're gonna abate this or close this up.
Fantastic. We will show that abated.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're good for today. Sorry. You had a very small role today, but but we appreciate you nonetheless. Okay, next up will be number 2 on our docket, 240631 APSD at 4209 Curtis Lane.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Inspector Lockett.
All right.
Ma'am.
Oh, I said just go ahead.
All right, case number 2406318, PSD. The guy not here since last time I've been here, ain't nothing changed, so I think we should go on them move.
All right, so you said there hasn't been any change?
No, ma'am, it's
Okay.
the same.
All right. I will note that the original inspection in this matter occurred June 5th of 2024. Since then, there have been a couple of hearings. Most recently, January 16th of 2025, this case came before me. Defendant Billy Terry Thomas was present when we continued it to today's date, so he did have notice to be here. He was also instructed that we needed significant improvement, which has not occurred. I'm unable, it doesn't look like the summons was able to get through to him, but again, he was noticed in court here last time, so that is good enough notice for me. I will go ahead and order a demo of the property at 4209 Curtis Lane. All right, and then number 3 on the docket is 2410533 PSD at 3929 Flora Avenue.
Yes, ma'am. Inspector Lockett, case number 2410533 PSD. I mean, I had spoke with the owner. She boarded it up, and she said she in the process. She wanted to rehab it.
Okay, when was that? Was that recent?
Yes, ma'am. It was yesterday.
Oh, okay. All right. This one, the appeal, this is an owner, it looks like from out of town, out of state. The appeal form in this matter was dated December 9th, 2024. And I do have at least that she has been getting some quotes. She's boarded it up to where it's not open to the exterior.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Because she's boarded it up and plans to rehab the property, I will give her until the May date to make some progress there. So we will reset this matter for May 15th, hopefully to have more significant progress made than just boarding something up.
All right, then.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes,
Again,
ma'am.
sorry you had to sit here all day just for those two
good.
things. I wish I could call y'all up first, but somebody's got to go last. All right, number 9 on our docket, 24111 PSD at 4201 Barbara Avenue. All right, good morning,
Good
Inspector
morning
White.
again.
Where are we at?
I'm Rosemary White, Inspector Rosemary White, for case number 2411599 PSD, 4201 Barbara Avenue. The owner took down the storage building behind the house.
Okay.
And I don't think they realized that we was talking
Still have
about-
issues?
I don't think they realized we was talking about the main structure.
Okay.
But anyway, it needs to come down or rehab. It's mostly the roof that's,
Mhm.
caving in, and then they did have a, like a carport on it originally, but they took that down. But that's the back of the house. I'm instructed to ask for more time for this. I hadn't talked to the owners or anything, so I don't, regarding the house, but I did speak with them when they did take down their storage building, so we want to give them more time to
Yeah.
assess it and see if they want to rehab the house or take it down.
Yeah, I was
So-
inclined to do that anyway, because it sounds like they may just misunderstand what the issue is. So let's renotice them for May as well. Poor hearing officer Ferris is gonna have quite the May docket. We will reset them for May, so we can make sure that they're at least aware of what the issues are. If they're not gonna do it, then we'll move forward, but I think the fact that they removed the shed shows that they're working in good faith. I think they just may be confused. So we will redo it, or reset it for May.
Is there a certain date?
I'm sorry, May 15th.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
All right, the next matter is 2408390 PSD at 1956 Poland Street. Yes. Okay, Inspector Ray, I'm ready.
Yes, ma'am. Inspector Ray for 2408390 PSD. Repairs has started on structure, but it has stopped for some reason. And I don't know why the reason, and the property owner is not here to explain to the court and myself on why it has been stopped, so.
Okay, so my notes that I have is that Property Standards is going to ask me to formally close the case, and if the property remains in violation, the inspector is to initialize a new violation and give the new owner the benefit of filing an appeal.
Okay.
We do have a new owner, correct? It looks like it was sold back in December of last year, yeah. So I think that's maybe part of it. Is it at a point where we can close this and then just bring it back if there's further problems, or do you want to leave it open?
I'll let the court decide on that.
Okay. Let's reset it for June. Give them some time. Well, let me look at these pictures.
Yeah. Well, my supervisor said we can close it and monitor.
And monitor it? Okay, all right. Let's do that. Let's show 1956 Poland closed and monitored. And like I said, if there's further issues, of course, we can bring it back. But let's just monitor it because it does have a new owner. Hopefully they'll get that handled. All right. Then we'll go to number 12 on our docket, 2410511 PSD at 1635 Poland Street.
Okay, Inspector Ray for case number 2410511 PSD. The violation has been previously closed and placed on monitor status.
Great. All right, we will show that one closed and monitored as well. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Number 15, 2312607 PSD regarding 2802 Corbett Street. Inspector Wheatley, none of your folks showed up today.
Oh, she didn't. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You want to swear it in?
Okay, I'll be Inspector
Inspector Wheatley.
Wheatley for violation 2312607 PSD, address 2802 Corbett Boulevard.
Inspector Wheatley.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
That's correct.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
All righty. As you can see from the structures, I haven't seen anything else done to it within the time you gave her. As you can see also from one of the structures, the two-story structure, it looked like somebody pulled the paneling off the door and has been inside. The main structure has a window open, and I think somebody been inside that one too. Only structure that seems to be intact is this one right here, other than the trash around it. She's got the roof and stuff done on it and did some painting on it. but it's still like a hole in the back where the electrical box and stuff at. But I discussed it with my supervisor, and she said that we was willing to give her 30 days to just to monitor and see if she's going to do anything with them 30 days, and if not, we come back and push on through with the demolition of all 4 structures.
All right. Your supervisor's in a better mood than me today. Um, all right. If that is property standards wish, then we will put it back on the April 15th date. I'll be back that date, and I will remember what I was thinking. I will just note that this came back on for the, I don't know, 5th time, 6th time?
Yes,
1, 2?
yes, this is a continuous.
So this came back on the 6th time back in January. Ms. Turner was present, so she was noticed to be here. She also stated that she needed 60 days to bring it to abatement status.
And I'd like to make note that I drove by there numerous of times because it's in the smack in the middle of my area.
Uh-huh.
And haven't seen any contractor there.
Okay.
I haven't seen anybody there.
I will also note that there was a previous $100 fine from several months ago that hasn't been paid. So we'll get Ms. Turner back. Ms. Hill, I'm sorry. Ms. Hill back in here for the April date. And hopefully she's made some progress. Otherwise, we're going to finish this one up. All right, number 16 on our docket, 2410521 PSD at 6502 Canal Boulevard.
All righty. I'm Inspector Eric Wheatley once again. Violation number 2410521 PSD, address 6202 Canal Boulevard. This is a burn structure. It's I think it's been burnt. It was burnt last year sometime. As you can see, there's been no rehab work or no cleanup or anything done to it. If anything, it's more stuff cluttered around it because I think somebody broke into the storage building that was in the back and pulled all the stuff out. Mm-hmm. There's also a cleanup on it too. The inside is completely burnt out. The roof is damaged on one side of it also. That's the storage building right here where they pulled all the stuff out. The porch on it has been decayed and rotted out completely. There's not much else to say, it's completely burnt out.
All right. I am going to note that the original inspection in this matter was October 15th of 2024 with an additional inspection December 9th of 2024. An appeal form was dated on December 14th of 2024 by Sharon Gale Potts Carroll, who provided us an address in Metairie. A notice for today's hearing was sent to that address, was delivered per the tracking. She does not appear today. I do believe that this is a very unsafe structure considering the burn damage.
Yes, ma'am, I agree with you.
And just all the other structural damage. So I am going to go ahead and order a demo of this structure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, don't go far.
No, ma'am.
Number 17 on our docket, 2411582 PSD at 3513 Pleasant Drive.
All righty. Inspector Eric Wheatley, once again, violation number 2411582 PSD, address 3513 Pleasant Drive. As you can see, the owner has done significant work getting it back together and everything. I mean, he did this all in one weekend.
Oh, wow.
And
it looks a lot better.
I'm want to abate this property and everything.
Great.
He did a great job on it. Close it. Close it. And
Perfect. Yeah, this looks great. So we will show this one closed. He chose a much better color for the paint this time around too. All right, the next matter will be number 18, 2405628 PSG at 3104 Lindholm Street.
yes, ma'am. This will be Miss Townsend's house. Inspector Eric Wheatley for violation number 2405628 PSG, address 3104 Lindholm Street. Her and her son has done a great job getting it cleaned up in there. They still got a little bit of stuff in the backyard. I told her about the old lawnmower that's sitting there, and her son has built like a storage building onto the house where he can keep his tools and stuff in. So he still got to get a lot of that stuff back inside.
Okay.
So I would like to actually get him 30 more days on it to get it all cleaned up. But the front yard and everything else looks like a great job. He did a great job on this stuff. So.
Would you be comfortable putting it on a monitor, or do you want to reset it for 30 days? I'll do either.
I'll put it in the monitor. That's
On a
fine.
monitor? Okay. All right. Just because it seems like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. All right. So we will just show this one as a monitor, and if we need to bring it back, we will.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, next up, number 19 on our docket, 2208316 PSD, 2036 Edition Avenue.
LaWanda Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
For 2208316 PSD, 2036 edition. This is a burnt structure.
It's a what? Burnt?
It's burnt.
Okay.
It's been in since 2022. All he did was put a tarp over the burnt holes in the roof. I am recommending that we tear this structure down, demolish the structure in 30 days.
All right, I'm just trying to make sure that we have notice, because I am inclined to do that, but I want to make sure that they knew to be here. Yeah, but I don't know what that address is. Right, but that's not the address on the appeal. Okay. It does appear that we sent notice to the address that is on the appeal form. There's a typo in my docket, so I just want to make sure we did this correctly. But we did send an appeal notice, notice of today's hearing to 2036 Edition Avenue, which is the address that they requested be used in their appeal form. That was returned to us as vacant. But that is the address that they provided. So they have a duty to forward their mail or, figure that out or provide us with the best address for them. So we had another address. I'm not sure where that came from. That also came back as unclaimed. So I'm not sure whether or not they received notice, but we sent notice, or y'all sent notice to the address on file. They did not appear today, so I will go ahead and order the demo of 2036 Edition Avenue. Thank you, ma'am. All right, next up, we will have number 21 and 22, 2405273 PSD at 3032 DeSoto Street. Good morning.
I am Inspector Davis over 2405273 PSD and 2307930 PSG 3032 DeSoto Street. As far as the demolition, recommend we go ahead and close that. Windows installed, gave it a coat of paint, fixed the siding, roof looks good. As far as the PSG, fence rows still need to be cleaned up. I believe there's still, the grass need to be cut. And I do have concerns about the roof that are kind of growing up underneath the house, but it's not that big a deal. As far as maybe causing it to shift and everything like that in the near future. But other than that, just the grass cut, fence row needs to be cleaned up. Some minor debris in the backyard that just need to be removed. But other than that,
So
I just recommend 30 days if they can get it addressed.
Okay, so we will close out the PSD, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then on the PSG, you want me to reset him on April 15th, or do you want to monitor him? It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll monitor it. I'll monitor it.
Monitor, okay. All right, we'll put that on a monitor because you're in good contact with him.
Ma'am?
You're in good contact with him.
No, but for some reason they have shown significant
getting to do it.
progress, but
Okay.
we'll just give him a chance.
Okay, we'll put it on a monitor, and if you need to bring it back, just let
Yes,
me know.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, the next matter we'll call is 25-24101-268 PSG at 3144 Greenwood Road.
I am Inspector Davis over 24101-268 PSG 3144 Greenwood Road. We just need that pile of concrete, bricking, whatever it is, off of the property. And it does apparently have a down tree that's falling from the property over to the next one. Bench road needs to be cleaned up, grass cut. If we can go ahead and push that through to be cleaned up. I haven't had any contact with the owner as far as getting that taken care of.
Okay. I will note that we had an appeal form submitted by a Mr. Carlos Steele on December 4th of 2024.
Yes.
I don't know if he gave us the best address for him, but again, I can't help the people fill out the forms. It looks like summons for today was issued or was delivered at least to a Mr. Bruns. I'm not sure if Mr. Steele has received his. I'm going to go ahead and move forward with ordering the care of premises. I'll enter a judgment to get all that
Thank you.
handled. You're welcome. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, the next matter is 26 on our docket, 2402156 PSD at 401 Jordan Street. Okay. All right, Inspector Hayes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Inspector Lisa Hayes for 2402156 PSD 401 Jordan Street.
Okay.
This case was written up back February of 21 of 2024, and the owners have made significant progress. It's just that, again, they stopped. And they had been here before, and they've done a lot of work, put a new roof on, they've wrapped it, but that's all they've done so far. So, and they're not here today.
Have you had any recent contact with them?
I have not since we left court. But I do have someone that's part of Highland Restoration that would like to speak.
Okay. All right, sir, go ahead and give me your name and tell me what you want me to know.
Yes, I am William Hartman.
Okay.
I'm the Executive Director of Revitalize Historic Highland.
Okay.
I am aware of this property. It first came to my attention before I even took this job.
Okay.
And there are people who are supporting the owner of this. He lives out of town. As I understand it, it's an inheritance.
Okay.
And he felt so strongly about it that he didn't want it to be lost.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I know it's back on the docket, I'll reach out and see if I can get some answers and get it motivated.
Okay. Thank you for being here today. You certainly don't have to be here for a property that's not yours, so I appreciate that. And I'm also sorry, I didn't realize you were here for a property. I would have called you up sooner. So sorry. Okay. I will note that the owner did make progress very quickly, and it does kind of look like it stalled out, but he has made progress. Do you have any particular concerns about vagrancy or people?
No, ma'am, not
that
lately.
you're aware of?
It seemed like since they've wrapped it and they've done that, no vagrants have been in it. It's right across the street from the Ark. So that was the initial concern.
Okay.
But since they have done so much to it, it looks a lot better on that corner. I just want them to finish it. And I would like to, I guess, give them and bring it back on your next docket if possible. And that should give them enough time for Mr. William to maybe reach out to them again to see exactly what's going on. But I don't want it off of the docket just yet.
Right. No, I agree with that. Okay, so my next docket is the April 15th date. I will, Hearing Officer Ferris is handling May for me. So we'll set it on April 15th.
Yes, ma'am.
And if we can, again, it doesn't have to all be completed within 30 days, although I would love that. But we need to see progress picking up again. And so if you can let whichever of y'all want to let the owner know or get that information to him, April 15th, we'll come back. Let's make sure we're still making progress on it. I don't want it to stall out. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you so much for being here, and again, I apologize for making you wait. Next up is 29 and 30, 2410490 PSD and 241011167 PSG regarding 226 Atlantic Avenue.
Okay, I'm Inspector Lisa Hayes for 2410490 PSD, 226 Atlantic Avenue. And what it was an additional part at the back of the house that was there, and it's gone. They tore it down, the owners tore it down themselves.
Okay, great.
So it is gone.
All right, so we can close this out?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we will close out the matters at 226 Atlantic Avenue.
Okay, now as far as 240101167 PSG, 226 Atlantic Avenue, which is the PSG, when they tore down the structure, it eliminated some of the PSG, but when you look at the property, there's still a lot there that needs to be cleaned up.
Right.
And they're not here, and I don't want it closed.
Right.
But they need to either give them some more time, and since they demolished the structure, I'm hoping they go ahead and clean this part up.
Right.
But if not, bring it back and we can do a court order if it's not cleaned up by the time we come back.
Okay, so you want to set it for May?
That's fine.
Okay, we'll set it for the May 15th date. And if it's cleaned up by then, you can let them know they don't need to be here, or they won't be here, and we'll close it out anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, next up is 38 on our docket, 2411132 PSG at 1621 Michael Street, Michelle Street?
Michelle Street.
Michelle Street, okay.
Inspector Charles Graham, Inspector of Record for violation number 2411131 PSG, 1621 Michelle Street. Was initially written up for junk, trash, and debris, several inoperable vehicles. He has moved 2 vehicles. He has 1 vehicle left that he's considering it as a project vehicle.
Okay, all right.
And the motorcycle he said he was going to fix that, but he said he was going to move it first. That was the only thing that I had a problem with yesterday.
Okay.
He was there at the time that I was there taking my photos. He said he would be unable to make it here due to a medical condition. So.
Did he appear to have a medical condition yesterday to you?
It was like there's no timestamp on there, 11-ish a.m. somewhere morning, and he was just getting out of bed. He heard me in his rear yard.
Okay.
He said, I'm just getting up. I have a hard time getting up due to some medication that he does take.
Okay, okay.
Okay, that's what he told me. He said the bike would be gone within a week. I'm good with just moving it to monitor,
Okay.
because he did move and do everything
The
else
other
that I
two.
asked him to do.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well then we will just move this to a monitor, and if you have any further trouble, just put it back on the
We'll
docket.
just put it back on the docket.
Yep. All right, the next matter we'll call up is number 40, 2405548 PSG at 9303 Savannah.
Charles Graham, Inspector of Record for 2405548 PSG, 9303 Savannah Drive. The property owner has completely abated the problem.
Awesome, we will show that completely abated. All right, next up we'll call matter 41, 2406337 PSD at 505 McCary Street.
Yes, ma'am. Once again, Charles Graham, Inspector, 2406337 PSD, 505 McCary Street. The property owner has replaced the roof, completely redone the cornice and the fascia boards on all sides. And that's what was asked of him to do in the initial write-up, so we will call this abated also.
Awesome. We're just bringing all the good news today. All right, and then 42 on our docket, 2410161 PSG at 9441 Coronado Drive.
Yes, ma'am. Same story here, 2410161 PSG, 9441 Coronado Drive. Photos taken yesterday shows that the violation has been abated. There was a collapsed patio on that rear slab that had a lot of junk, trash, and debris on it. All of that has been completely removed. There was an inoperable vehicle in the driveway that's gone, and the fence rows have all been cleaned.
Perfect, we will show that abated.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. I believe that handles our entire docket, unless someone out there has something else to tell me. Okay. All right, we will show our docket completed then. Thank you, everyone. Sorry today ran a little bit long.